Hi. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here. Again, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for you, for all people. You know, it's been quite a few hours since the last time you've heard from me. And I'd like to apologize for that because there's so much you could have heard. But at the same time, we're still here together. And if you've missed anything, you can bet your last money you're going to get it now. You know, ladies and gentlemen, here again, for those of you who might be listening for the very first time, is that my basic concern in life is for everybody to experience the beautiful life. I want everybody to experience that fantastic life. That's what my whole concern is. It's about. I'm not concerned too much. I used to be about how the world is shaped and how it's formed, how its governments are expressed, how they're designed and what they represent, and how they're supposed to affect the lives of people. You know how that be something that you just have to pay attention to because there are repercussions if you make the wrong decision or respond to a decision that you make that is against perhaps the norm. But be that as it may, the truth of the matter is sometimes, and may I say oftentimes, when you try to hold to that prescription, you're going to find yourself going through a lot of pain or suffering. There's going to be a lot of negativity going, whether you want it or not. That's just the result of an outcome for a response for an action like that. Now, I remember, ladies and gentlemen, the reason that I have to say these things to you is this: is because I have faith that there is a God. Now, I used to believe my mother and my parents who raised me were the most mightiest people in the world. They had all control over me. And I was committed to respond to them as they required. As I grew older, I realized that my parents had a lot of control, a lot of power over me. But she was not the ultimate power. They had a power that's called the state. And the state, in certain instances, could overrule my parents. And so, yes, honor my parents. Follow their rules and regulations. They're not going to do too much that's against the state because then they would be obligated for. And so we can assume that everything is in line. So the state is there in line too as well. But then if you keep on living, you recognize that there's a power even superior to the state. And that's that universal power. Some people call it the God power. It's the kind of power that frees you. I mean, it really frees you from everything that binds you. Now, let me say that again. The God power is the power that frees you from everything that binds you. You know what I'm saying? Now, it means, my friends, that the liberty of life is between you and your God. And I have no problem saying that to you because I have an understanding of how that God works. That God does not just do this and do that crazy like people are. No, that God has a plan. And the thing that makes me stand before you today, ladies and gentlemen, convinced beyond a shadow of doubt that I'm totally in that plan, is because I, like you, grew up like many of you. But I grew up in the South. I grew up where poverty was number one. But at the same time, I lived just like most people, and we survived all that came against us. Black people and white people, everybody. We survived as we had to. But one day, as a youngster, I did something that was very, very stupid. I made a decision. To me, was I was as confident about that decision as my faith is that there is a God. Let me say that again. I was as confident about my decision as my faith is about the fact that there is a God. And I acted on that decision. And to me, I stand before you because it seems as if there was a power somewhere that saw everything that was going on and just laughed at my stupidity. Look at that stupid, I almost say stupid nigga, because that's what we were called at that time. So it says that power just observed and says, but there's something about that stupid nigga that I like. And I'm going to protect that. And did, my friends. I mean, literally protected me out of my stupidity. Now, at the moment, I didn't know I was stupid. I thought everything I stood for was represented right there on the money. And to me, it was represented right there on the money. It's what life had to offer in the future that brought me to the understanding that what happened to me was in preparation for something that God would have me to do. Something that God would have me to do that would cause me and require that I, in being connection to the word of God, that I would put my life on the line to make sure that what God is trying to say through me is said. And ain't nothing on the face of it will stop me unless God says, okay, I'm going to let you end it right now. But other than that, brother, the truth is the truth as I have seen it. And see, I've seen the beauty of life and I've seen the ugliness of it. And I choose beauty. I choose beauty. I choose to walk through cities and places where I've seen ghettos, and I choose to see beautiful town homes and however they want to design it. But I choose to see it beautiful. I choose to see an infrastructure that represents the joy and life and excitement of a people that's made the choice to say this is fine with me. I choose to walk wherever the pain and suffering has been and see it being dissipated. I choose that, ladies and gentlemen, because to me, it is fantastic to see you, the human being, having your needs, your wants, and your desires met. It pleases me to know that you can actually live in peace and be prosperous and free and joyous and happy. It pleases me to know that you can live your dreams rather than dream them. It pleases me to know that you have the right to have all of your needs, your wants, and your desires met, never suffering for anything. And that includes, but not limited to, food, clothing, shelter, education, healthcare, transportation, and anything that's made by the hands of man. And that tells me that that power that I stand before you and tell you about is a absolutely fantastic power, because I'm not lying to you. Trump, those are the guys that lie to you. Those billionaires that's robbing you, they are the ones that lie to you. Those who can push buttons and drop bombs on you and kill you and your children and your parents. Those are the ones that will lie to you. Those are the ones that you should be aware of. You don't have to worry about anything like that for me, because I can see the joy of your life, because now you can have the opportunity to recognize whatever it is that you love doing and find and engage yourself to it at the behest of that fantastic power that I tell you about. That love can lead you to that which gives you your greatest joy. Now you've connected joy and love together, and as you engage yourself through the process, through a career of your own choosing, that mighty power that I tell you about, ladies and gentlemen, is connecting everything and working to the operation to produce everything I just said to you, that will actually be creating heaven on earth. Now, ain't no Republican gonna tell you that. Ain't no Democrat gonna tell you that. Ain't no preacher gonna tell you that. Ain't nobody gonna tell you that but God. Now, God might use a lot of people to tell you that, but I guarantee you it's coming from God. Because in it, there ain't no lying and ain't no cheating. Ain't no stealing and ain't no killing. Ain't no terror and ain't no war. Ain't no pain and ain't no sickness. My friend, need I say more? How many of you would turn your back on a way like that and keep on following Trump when you know he's a liar, a cheat, and everything that you would hate to be disgusted? And how many of you will commit your life to please Trump and turn your back on your own parents, turn your back on your own children to please Trump? Now, let me ask you, because there are those of you that would do that. Let me ask you something. Let me just ask you one question before I end this broadcast. What made you do that? What made you treat Trump like he's a king? Do you know what makes you do that? Uh, yeah, well, it is pretty rough. I just thought I'd ask you that. Maybe you might think about it. So if you're listening to this broadcast, if you got no more out of it than just what we did right there, then it was worthwhile. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, this is Eddie Marcus. I want to thank you so very much for giving me this your time. And until next time, goodbye for now.